Crawley with their reggae-fied version of the Stevie Wonder classic, A Place in the Sun. It is 6 minutes past 11 o'clock, right here on 531 PI, bringing Pacific people together. Wellington Museum is hosting a rainbow film festival called Real Pride. Real Pride is curated by Octavius Jones, who is a Wellington-based PhD student, writer, poet, and Afrofuturist thinker teaching and mentoring around the world. His practice combines technology, science, academia, and creative arts to tackle issues of social and environmental justice. His current work focuses on queer perspectives on the Anthropocene and human-ocean connections. Octavius joins us now. Talo Falava, good morning, Octavius. Thank you so much for making time to have a chat with us.
Hello, Falava. Good morning. Yeah, I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
You are most welcome. Now tell us a little bit about your own journey. How have you ended up in the capital city of Aotearoa?
I know it's a semi crazy journey, but I was born in Los Angeles, California, and I always wanted to travel. So I did my undergrad or my first degree in the Midwest in Wisconsin-Madison. And from there, I was able to finally get to where I wanted to go, which was on the African continent. And I got to live in Africa for a year in Kenya. And then from there, I did Peace Corps for 3 years in Botswana, which is right above South Africa. Came back to the US, worked in DC, went to go get my master's in Colorado. And from Colorado, I was teaching and wanting again to be out of the US because I don't know if you know, but we had Trump as president. And that wasn't good for me and the work that I wanted to do. And so I applied for Fulbright to come to New Zealand and I got accepted. And after my Fulbright, which lasted a year in 2019, I stayed on to continue with my PhD.
Wow, wow, wow. And did you do your Fulbright studies at Victoria University? Is that the way it works?
Yeah, yep, in Takawa, Maui, in the Maori Studies Department, where I'm at now for my PhD.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Now, film. How did you become involved in the Real Pride Festival?
My friend Leilani So reached out to me. So she is one of the community coordinators at Wellington Museum. And we had worked on a few other projects as well. I was a stagehand for a play that was a queer play that was put on at the museum as well. And so we have done projects in the past before, and we have continued to talk about the need for queer activities, programming, not to just be in the month of Pride Month, and then we just forget our it's like we're invisible the rest of the year. No, like that we would have queer events throughout the year. Why? Because we're part of the community, we're part of the culture as well. So why not have events outside of a designated month or time? That yeah, it would offer not just us in the queer community, but in the greater Whānau, opportunities to hear our stories and our voices throughout the year.
Now, the Wellington Museum, does that have a theatre in there where the films will be shown?
No, not necessarily a theater, but there's a like an event space that is multidisciplinary. So they have all things have been done in there in terms of plays, art installations, and the showing of films and screenings. So it's done through a projector on a wall, but it's big enough to it gives you that cinematic feel, kind of like a upgraded version of Netflix at your own house.
Yes. Now, the curating these festivals, how did you go about selecting the films?
It was hard. There's so many films, and I wanted to represent so many different communities and voices. So, and I didn't at first we were only going to start with one, but then expanded it to three screenings. But I also, and this is one of those things where you have an idea as someone who's just new to a project, and then the admin of it is that for certain films, you actually have to pay licensing fees. And those can be quite expensive too. So based on our budget, I was constrained in that way as well. So the films I was able to choose, not only I felt provided voices or perspectives or issues, I think that are interesting, are necessary to talk about, but also had free access and the ability, to view them. So I really thank the filmmakers and producers of those films for allowing that too, because that's one of the things in terms of particularly like queer artists as well. And even me as an academic, we always are navigating that. What is available versus what we produce? Is it behind a gate wall and only people with money or who are in the university can they see our work, or are we doing our work for the community? And if so, how do we make sure that they are able to view it?
So you're saying you've got three films. So this is a one evening or one afternoon event. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so we started last week, well, this past weekend on Saturday, and we're going to be doing the next two Saturdays as well at 12:30 p.m. Drinks and snacks provided. But yeah, the films on average are about an hour, hour and 30 minutes, and then we just have a short discussion afterwards as well.
With regards to the three films that you've selected, any Pacifica themes or any Pacifica topics involved in any of those three films?
Yes. So our last film, the culmination of the festival will be Kumahina, about Hinelia Moana and her journey in terms of being a Hawaiian cultural educator and activist, and the work that she's doing in Hawaii around helping and bringing light to trans issues, but not just trans issues in terms of fighting for rights, but what it means to be wrapped in your identity, accepting and loving yourself, but then also being a part of the community. How your narrative, your life, your identity isn't just about your sexuality and who you're dating, or and what you're presenting or wearing, but it's about how are you engaging with your culture, your language, your community, and all the issues that are important to you, but then those around you as well. I've Funny enough, I saw the film while I was in Colorado, and during my master's, they had posters around the Pacifica Society, which was like a club or the community at my university, Colorado State University. They were putting it on as a screening. So it's nice to be able to continue that tradition of like showing it as well. It's a very powerful film that centers on Hinelia Moana, having and allowing um, a um, a student to lead the Tane side, the male side of of the dance, even though they were born female, but identify having being in that in between space of having both Tane and Wahine, energy or spirit.
Now, will these films be shown anywhere else throughout New Zealand or other festivals?
Yeah, Kumahina has been shown and probably will be shown in the future. One of the things in terms of accessibility too, because our numbers for the viewings had to be reduced due to COVID restrictions. So we weren't able to have as many people attend as we would like. But all of them are free and available online. So if you look up Kunahine, Pride and Protest, Audre Lorde, The Berlin Years, the three films, in Google, you will find them for free and available for you to view.
Now, for people who might have just caught the end of this interview, where can they go to find out more about Real Pride, the festival?
Yeah, so Real Pride screening, you can go to Wellington Museum. Or check Facebook as well, Real Pride screening or Wellington Museum, and you can find out more information about the screenings.
We should have a link on this when we post it on our Facebook as well. And Real Pride, if you're listening, is spelt Real Pride. Real Pride Rainbow Film Festival curator Octavius Jones, thank you very much for your time, and all the best with the remaining 2 weekends of the festival.
Thank you so much.
You're absolutely welcome. You're listening to Early Edition with it right here on 531 PI. It is 16 minutes past 11 o'clock. Here is